Happy holiday, everybody, and I hope you guys having a great time so far. Since we're all still in a quarantine, most of us probably spend more and more time at home, and what's the best thing to do than decorating our home house? Rather than buying all the stuff for decorating, this year I'm challenging myself to do all the decoration myself with my DIY stuff. FYI, I'm going to use a lot of leftover artificial flower from my wedding 2 years ago, but if you don't have any artificial flower, you can always use dry flower. And most of my DIY is going to more towards like Christmas theme because I do celebrate Christmas. But if you don't worry, you can always change the color around as you like. I do have a lot to share today, so let's get into it, shall we? The first thing I'm going to make is a wreath, but I'm not making a Christmas wreath because I do want to use it all year long, not just for Christmas. So if you want to make a Christmas wreath, you can always use more red and green, maybe a little bit of gold, or use any color you like, it doesn't really matter. First, you need to glue a bigger flower first. You can arrange it like I do, but you also can glue it to one or two corners and leave the rest empty. I'm going to more full look for this wreath. After you glue all your bigger flowers, you can now start gluing some smaller flowers and leaves to fill the gap. Just a tip, if some of your flowers doesn't have a stem, like mine did, you can always attach a toothpick or other branches that you have. Now that your flower has a stem, you can reach the wreath base and glue it together. I love how this one turns out. Love this color combination, and the wreath base only cost me like $7 and the flowers is left over from my wedding, right? So I'm quite happy for this one. The second one, I'm making Christmas tree ornament. I bought this acrylic bowl dome for $140 online. It's not super cheap, but I really want to try this out, so I bought it and I think it was worth it. For this project, you need acrylic bowl dome, acrylic paint, and some string to hang it with. First, you need to paint all the sides with the color of your choice. I chose red and gold. And before you paint your design, you need to let it dry first. Mine dried in about 15 minutes. Now you can paint anything you like. I'm not really good at painting, so I'm sticking to more simple flower design. I'm painting the red one with gold flowers and the gold one with red flowers. For filling the empty space, you can dot it all around with more acrylic paint. For the red dots, I'm using this glitter glue that I bought a long time ago and never use. What do you think? It's quite easy, right? Next one is more like a last minute idea. You can basically harden any kind of fabric with Mod Podge. You can even make your own Mod Podge with mixing 1 part glue and 1 part water. Some internet recipe does say to mix a 3:1 ratio, but I find it to be not strong enough, so mine is 1:1 ratio. Here I'm using crocheted snowflake and this leaf shaped lace that I have, but I do going to link the pattern that I'm using below. So for keeping my snowflake straight, I'm going to pin it down to the fabric that I keep in the plastic, but if you have styrofoam, that will work just as good. After you pin it all the corners down, you can start applying your Mod Podge with a brush. Don't worry if it looks weird and wet now, because once the Mod Podge dries, it will harden your ornament perfectly and it will hang pretty in your tree. Do the same thing to the lace, but because the leaf is so small, I don't even need to pin it down. After that, I let mine dry overnight, and on the second day, I thread it with some string and we're done. Next one, we're going to make a ball out of wool with this tool. It's really easy. These tools come with 4 different sizes, but I'm going to make the smallest one since I only have a small Christmas tree. For this, you need a wool yarn like this. I tried using the cotton yarn before, but it doesn't fluff up like the wool one does. So I already have 2, and I'm going to make another one. The last project is more like upgrading your decoration using artificial flower. I got this electric lantern on sale. It's about $7, but I want to make it more festive, so I glued some flowers inside. And I'm done. Isn't it so pretty? Here's how everything looks now. I love all of them, especially the wreath, and I hope you liked it too. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and remember, DIY stuff doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I think a little bit of imperfectness does make it perfect, you know? So that's it. If you make any of the stuff I made today, please tag me on Instagram at yes_its show, and I'll see you next time. Bye!